Uh-oh, did Ryan forget to pay his water bill? Let me show you how to prepare for if your water gets shut off. Ryan here for Silly Reviews. I want to help you guys know what to do when your water gets shut off. As you saw in this video clip, I had a little scare this morning. I thought a utility guy was letting me know about to get disconnected because I didn't pay my bill. Upon further review, it's just a boil water advisory for my neighborhood, but actually the water is shut off, and they shut it off at the worst possible time. But boy, was I relieved it wasn't my bill being late and I was going to get charged some kind of late fee. So at the worst possible time, around 8:25 a.m. when people are still getting ready for work and need to take a shower and a poop, these guys down the street decided it would be a good idea to go ahead and cut that water off. Cut it off! So let me show you how to be prepared. First of all, and I live in a hurricane area, I keep gallons and gallons of tap water on reserve. You can do this. The water will stay good for about 6 months, okay? Once you have that water and you don't have water pressure, you can still do things like here. I'm going to fill up my water little spigot, my water pick, fill it up with water. I'm squirting. I'm getting the gunk out of my teeth in the morning. It's great. Okay? What about you drop a mega deuce? Go ahead. Now you got your gallons of water. Let's make that toilet flush, because you're only going to get one flush after your water gets cut off. After that, the tank is done. You don't need water to use your computer, so you're going to be fine right there. Pardon me. You don't need water to watch television, like this ridiculous app called HeTV on a Roku TV. You don't need, well, you do need water to boil water, and if you need to drink water, you can't drink the tap water, so just boil it. This HeTV channel is so terrible. You don't need water to turn your ceiling fan on. Get a cool breeze, okay? It's all about preparation, people. Really quickly, I'd like to go over some of the related searches, the suggestions by Google on this topic. Some of you may want to know the answers to these. Now, I'm not a lawyer, an attorney, a professional. I'm just going to give you answers off of life experience and things I know or things I think I know. So if you want to know what to do if your water gets shut off, well, first you want to think to yourself, did I pay my water bill? If the answer is no, and you know you haven't paid it in a long time, and you know you've seen that bill go up and up, maybe you've received a disconnect notice that it's coming up, well then you know the answer to your problem of your water being shut off is you need to pay your bill, and you're going to need to figure that out. In the event you do not have the money to pay your bill, there are usually in your town going to be some type of assistance programs for people who are facing financial hardships, okay? So you're going to have to research that. Call a friend, ask your boss for a loan, call a family member, trick on the streets, do something, okay? Another question on here is there a penalty for turning water on after shutoff? Now, being someone who has struggled financially on and off, I have had my water turned off before. There definitely is a penalty, and my penalty when it happened to me last year, actually, it was $50, I believe, which is steep. So whatever you can do to avoid getting your water turned off, try to do it, because at least in my case, the penalty was large, okay? Hard to bounce back from. Now, here's another one. How to get water turned back on after hours. I'm not sure, unless you're an emergency service, that this is possible. You're going to have to contact your water company during business hours, and that's usually around 8 a.m. in most municipalities. The next suggestion says water company turned off water. Okay, so if your water is turned off, it is probably turned off by the water company. You need to contact them, find out what you can do to get the water turned back on. The next suggestion is fine for turning water on. I guess that's people asking, is there a fine for turning your water back on? So if the water company comes, gets to that valve, uses their long wrench doohickey turns your valve to where your water is turned off because you need to pay your bill, then yes, there will be a fine for you going out there and figuring out how to turn it back on. Is it possible? Yes, you can do it. It's mechanical. It's all you're doing is turning something. You just need to figure out how to turn it. So with a little motivation and ingenuity, sure, you could turn it back on, but you're going to get in trouble. You might get in legal trouble. You may never be able to get right with the water company. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Figure something out, get the bill paid, okay? Can they shut off my water if I have a baby? Now, people with children, elderly people, people with illnesses, sicknesses, diseases, they will know how to game the system. And there are protections in place to prevent utilities, essential utilities, from getting turned off for people who have babies and caring for the elderly or the sick, or you're sick or elderly. Yes, there are protections in place in a lot of places. I can't say all, but a lot of people who make a lot of babies know how to game the system. So if somebody's searching for that and it's a pretty popular search, that's probably what they're trying to do. But eventually you're going to have to pay that bill, and the balance is going to get so high, likely your credit's going to be affected. You'll never be able to get back in good standing with the water company. You're going to have to prove that you fall in line with the qualifications to prevent your utility from being turned off. You're just gonna create a hole that you'll never be able to get out of, and you'll probably have to move at some point to have water again inside of your house. Okay, how does the city turn off your water? How do they do it? Well, when they have reason to turn off your water, they usually have this long wrench doohickey that can go ahead and turn a valve off that's going to be in front of your house, behind your building. I don't know where you live, but there is going to be a valve somewhere, and that's how they shut off the water. How does the water company shut off your water? Well, I just covered that. So those are some of the most popular searches for people who are in this situation when the water gets turned off. I don't think these are questions that pertain to my situation where they turned the water off for the whole neighborhood. They probably switched a big valve somewhere, cut off a water main, something like that, because they're doing repairs. They're digging into the ground and repairing the pipes and stuff. But for these questions by people who, and I've been there too, where the water got shut off, I hope I gave you a little bit of information. I hope if you did find this video because you are in a financial hardship, that you do get out of it. Keep your head up. Keep pushing. Believe it or not, if you can just keep trying, things usually do get better. But sometimes they don't. Ryan here for Silly Reviews, and my water is back on, but I know I can't drink it until they lift this water advisory. So I'm going to go ahead and boil some more water and drink hot water. Ryan here for Silly Reviews.